Perfect. How's everyone doing today? Hi, Ramsey. Nice to see you. Good. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you are comfortable turning on your camera, it's always easier to go through with this. But if you're not, I completely understand. All good now, Ramsey? You can hear us clearly?
No, I can hear you. Good
Yeah.
morning,
Okay,
everyone.
wonderful. Welcome. Very nice to see you here today.
Nice
Very
to
nice
see
to
you
see
all.
some familiar faces. Hi, Mohammed. How are you?
Hello,
Hi, nice to see you here.
thank you.
Perfect. So all of you guys here are hopefully here to listen to what the FinTech Challenge is and learn a little bit more about what the process is like. And so that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Some of you know who I am. And for those of you who don't, I'm the Executive Director of FinTech Cadence, and my name is Leah. And I'll be going through all the session with you guys today. A few key things to note before we get into the details. One is this is a cross-Canada competition. And so we'll be allowing people to participate from wherever. So the sessions will mostly be delivered in English. However, if you want to ask a question in French, or if you want to speak French in any part of it, please note that that is obviously always an option. The next thing as well is I'm going to go through a few slides for the sake of you guys being able to understand. If you want to make sure I clarify any point, please just raise your hand on Zoom. I think we're all experts of Zoom at this point. So raise your hands or wave at the camera and I'll give you a chance to ask me that question. You can also ask a question using the chat feature. And if you're not super familiar with how to use Zoom, then please ping Maria, who's labeled as FinTech Cadence, on the chat, and she'll be able to guide you through that process. If there is anything that I haven't mentioned today or something you want to follow up with that you don't feel comfortable asking on the Zoom or on the call today, then don't hesitate to ping Maria at fintechcadence.com, and she'll be more than available to help you guys with your questions going forward. As I've already mentioned, this is going to be recorded and will be part of the website. So if you ever want to share it or want more people to know about it so that you can answer their questions, then feel free to be able to do that as well. All good so far? Thumbs up, yeah. Ramsey gave me a thumbs up, so that's good. Mo nodded his head, so perfect. So today what we're going to be going over is a quick introduction of who we are as an organization, a little bit more information of what is the FinTech Challenge, and then we're going to be spending most of the time on how it works, what does the timeline look like. Of course, I'll give you another opportunity to ask questions if you haven't had a chance to do that. And if you guys want a little bit of time to connect afterwards with the other possible participants, then we can put you guys in breakout rooms and you can do a bit of more informal get to know you sessions as well. So getting started, I want to let you know who we are as an organization. Like I said, I know there's some familiar faces here, so which is really always exciting to see. But if you've never heard about us and who we are as an organization, then here's your very, very quick intro to the work that we do. So our mission overall is to advance the financial system to serve all Canadians for the better. We are a nonprofit organization. We have offices in Montreal, Toronto, and soon to be announced in Calgary. And we have a presence in both Vancouver and the Atlantic provinces of Canada. So we really are trying to support the FinTech ecosystem from coast to coast. Our three main objectives is to provide education around the FinTech space, whether that's our own FinTech certificate, whether that's working directly with university and academia, or whether that's supporting industry to learn more about what's happening, the trends in FinTech, and the positives and negatives as well. So that's our education focus. The second thing that we do is we support early stage FinTech startups. We often get asked, what does early stage mean? And just to clarify, early stage is just when you're starting with your business, all the way through to and up to pre-Series A, so about $1 million in funding. And the third thing that we do is we work directly with financial institutions and industry to help support innovation either internally or to help support their innovation strategies externally as well. And so you'll see we've partnered with Desjardins in the past, TD Bank, quite a few of the financial institutions, as well as insurance firms, regulators, et cetera. So we really are trying to be inclusive of all the stakeholders that are relevant to the FinTech sector. And you'll see why this matters a little bit later on when we talk about the FinTech Challenge. We do have quite a few programs, some of which you guys have come through, and I won't spend too much time going over all the programs because we will be going over it in detail, but I will say that if you are interested in learning more about our programming, please go on our website. We have all of the information available there. Like I said, some of the programs I've already mentioned, so our FinTech certificate, our Ascension program is focused on helping startups get funding. The FinTech Challenge is why you guys are here today, so I'll spend time in that in a second. IFH Labs helps startups that are focused on the financial health of Canadians. And the FinTech Hub is a program that's open to all startups, no matter what subvertical they are in FinTech. We also do quite a few events. So we have FinTech Drinks. Last week, we had our Montreal version of FinTech Drinks, which was very exciting. And for the first time ever, we're going to be hosting a FinTech Drinks out of Toronto on October 18th. And so we'll put that, we'll send you guys information about that if you are interested in attending and you're based in Toronto. We also have a university series coming up. The first batch of the university series is taking place in Montreal. So be on the lookout for that. And in 2024, we'll be looking at doing a career fair as well. So if you're ever interested in a career in FinTech, be on the lookout for that too. All of our information is available online, but the best way to follow what's happening in the FinTech sector, not only from our programs and our events, but also from our partners, is to make sure you're following us on LinkedIn. So if you're not following us on LinkedIn, go right now, give us a follow, and you'll see all of the events that are coming up or all of the news that's relevant to you guys when it comes to FinTech. And so, as we said, the primary focus of why we are here today is the FinTech Challenge. And overall, this is a program that actually is one of our flagship programs. It used to be called the FinTech, the Formathon prior, and we started it in 2017, which is when FinTech Cadence was started. And we've run since then 6 editions. We've had over 110 teams formed, over 400 participants, and excitingly as well, over $60,000 in cash prizes. And these are numbers that I think are pretty impressive. But the thing that I believe really reflects true of this program is some of the winners, what they have gone on to do, whether they've gone on to create startups based on the work that they did in the FinTech Challenge, or they've presented to large organizations their research. I always give this example, but it's a very exciting one. The AMF, which is the Quebec Regulatory Organization, presented a challenge a few years ago, and the winners of that challenge were then asked to come in and present to all of the AMF during a FinTech Day. So it's not to say that this is always the case, but just to kind of show that not only are the fact that teams are created and money is given out is really great as part of this program, but that there's also impact on the ecosystem following when the program is done as well. So just something to keep in mind if that's where you want to start building your network or your reputation in the organization, in the sector. As part of the program, we have 3 groups of people that will be supporting you. One, the FC team. So as I mentioned myself, Maria, who was going to wave at the camera, who I already mentioned a couple of times and who you've probably been in communication with or saw an email from her at the very least early this morning. She'll be mostly leading all communication. I also see we have Raul here. So Raul leads our partnership and will be supporting Maria as part of it too. Oops, sorry. We have the mandators. These are the people who will be presenting the specific challenge themselves. You will have the opportunity to meet them. They are industry people who you'll be meeting one-on-one with. And the third group of people that form part of the FinTech Challenge are the experts. And this is industry people that you'll be given the opportunity to talk to, just so that you can run some of your ideas or your research and validate whether you're on the right path or not. So as you see, some of the biggest objectives that we try and do with the program is to give you as much network and as many contact points with industry as possible. How does the program work overall? Well, the first thing is we ask of you to join a team. If you have a team that you already work with, your own personal team, and you want to participate as a team, that's wonderful. You guys can come in as a team. If you have half a team and you want more people to join, that's also an option. We give you guys opportunities between now and then to meet new people. And if you don't have a team, then we also give you opportunities to meet people. And we're going to be running sessions on how do you form the right team as you go through some of these experiences. So first point is join a team or have a team. We've kind of ran over this, so I'm going to go to the second point. The second point is you'll select a challenge. There'll be 3 challenges that are going to be presented. We'll be announcing those challenges a little bit later on in the month. You will pick one of those 3 challenges presented, and during the course of the week, you'll be working on that specific challenge. At the end of the challenge, I'll go through this and then we'll go through the challenge. While you're doing the challenge, we'll be giving you guys workshops specifically focused on design thinking. Have you guys heard of design thinking before, by the way? I know some of you guys are giving me thumbs up, but has anyone here heard of design thinking? Yeah, perfect. Bhupinder. Great. So design thinking is a methodology that really supports the development of identifying the problem in the sector before you build a solution for it. And so we'll be giving you, through experts in design thinking, workshops around how do you really identify the problem? How do you find the need to solve that problem? And how do you formulate ideas as part of it? We'll also, as I mentioned earlier, be giving you access points to industry. So we'll be inviting different members of the industry to come in so that you can talk to them as well and validate some of your hypotheses that you have been working on. So now you've formed a team, you've selected a challenge, you've been working on your challenge. The last part of it then becomes to present your solution. On the final day of the week-long program, you'll be presenting what you've been working on to the panel of judges, and you have an opportunity to win cash prizes as well. Any questions up until this point? No, everything is super clear.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
The solution is, I presume, presented as a team, not as an individual, right?
Exactly, as a team. Yeah.
Okay.
We recommend one person of the team usually pitch the solutions, at most 2 people, but it can be one representative of the team. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's presented in the name of the whole team. So there isn't
Yes.
a solution for every
No.
individual.
No, unless you want to go over and
No,
beyond.
no, I just...
It's not this. Yeah. Absolutely runs. Yeah, exactly. One group, one person, one group representative presenting. Exactly.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for the great
Okay. I have also a question.
Yes, Mohammed.
Do we need to develop a prototype for the solution that we are proposing?
That is an excellent question. You do not need to develop a prototype. The purpose of these kind of programs that we're running is to help spend a bit more time on the research of the problem, on the research of the potential users, and suggestions of what the solutions could be. If you have done deep research, if you've prepared, and you have time to develop a wireframe, or let's say a lo-fi prototype, and you want to present that as part of your solution, you're more than welcome to it. But the focus of the judges is going to be, do you really understand the problem? Do you understand who's facing the problem? And have you presented solutions that could actually tackle the research that you've done before? Less so on, now that you found the solution, do you have a prototype to show us?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mohammed, for the question. Okay, so I'm going to continue. So who are we looking for? First and foremost, we're looking for people who are really excited by the fintech sector, who want to learn a bit more about it to get involved, and who are looking to solve some of the problems that the industry is facing directly. So those who are seeking less theory and more practical experience in the sector. No matter what level of experience you have in fintech, whether you're an industry expert, whether you're corporate, whether you've built a fintech before, whether you've never heard of fintech until 30 minutes ago, everyone is welcome to participate in the challenge. It's our responsibility to make sure everyone understands the process once the program starts. But prior to that, please don't feel any hesitancy to join, because you might think, oh, I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, or I don't understand what really happens in the world of fintech. We will be more than willing to spend time with you and build up your knowledge there. And if you're an expert in fintech, then that's wonderful as well. We welcome you, and we welcome the experience that you have as well. And as I've already mentioned, it is open across Canada. So if you are based in Montreal, but might have a partner or group that's in Vancouver, they're more than able to join as well. We will be offering sessions both virtually and in person. So some of the rules, because there always have to be rules in these things. First and foremost is that we do expect that if you're in Montreal, that you attend in person. The sessions that you have to attend that are offered in person, are the October 20th, the Friday, October 20th, and Saturday, October 21st. Again, if you're not based in Montreal, those sessions will be available in a hybrid format as well. All activities and workshops are mandatory. We've tried to really tighten up how much time we're going to be asking of you. As well, the sessions and workshops include time for you to work with your teams. And last but not least, we also are bringing the mandators and the industry. So we're also trying to maximize how much time you guys can work on this during the workshop. So that's why we kind of expect you guys to be in every one of the activities and workshops. And then as a final point, everyone has to present their solution to the jury on October 28th. And when I say everyone, just before it comes up, I don't mean every single person on the team, but every team has to present. So I'm going to get into a little bit of what the timeline looks like so you can see what the capacity is that you have during that week. So first and foremost, it kicks off on October 20th, which is that Friday. That is a fintech kickoff, that's the kickoff, as well as an opportunity for you to first meet with the mandators, the challenge providers. On the second day, this is about the longest day that you'll have. This is a design thinking workshop and activity. So you'll be going through with different experts. How do you start developing an idea? How do you validate your problem? And how do you start thinking around solutions? That is also going to be offered hybrid. On October 23rd, that is online. It's a shorter hour workshop, and you're going to be focusing on problem definition. On October 27th, you'll also be working on solution ideations, as well as meeting with industry. And then last but not least, and as already mentioned, you'll be doing your presentation to the jury on October 28th. So let's break down exactly how that looks like. On Friday, the session starts at 4 o'clock. You'll be introduced to the competition. Following that, you'll be presented the challenge by the mandators. You'll have an opportunity to work, to start looking at how do you build teamwork and these kind of challenges. So that's about a 45-minute workshop. And then from 6 to 6:35, you guys can spend time with your groups deciding on what is the challenge that you're most interested in, and then which ones you guys want to work on, which one challenge do you want to work on for the week. That's the kickoff. The design thinking workshop starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. So all the times, and sorry if I haven't said this before, but all the times are mentioned here are given in Eastern time. And so you'll start the workshop at 1 o'clock. We'll be going over the session. You'll be going through the workshop component part of it. And then following the workshop sides, you'll be going through a guided activity so that you can start seeing how do you prioritize the challenges that you're going to be focusing on. The online workshops on Monday the 23rd will be broken down by, first and foremost, the opportunity to meet with mandators so that your team can start asking them questions. Following that, so that's a 30-minute time slot with your mandators. Following that, you'll be working together as a team, and then we'll be giving you an opportunity to meet with industry at the end. Again, this workshop is delivered online. The Friday workshop, the 27th, you'll be going through a UX UI design workshop. So that will be the part where you'll be developing your potential solutions. What could those look like? So Mohammed here, as we mentioned, at most, this is what we're looking at for prototyping, at best, sorry. Then you'll be given time with your team. We'll then give you another opportunity to meet with industry experts. And then last but not least, give you guys an opportunity to tackle these situations. Then comes the judging. So I think here is a pretty straightforward process. You'll present to the judges, then the judges will deliberate while you network, and then we'll be doing the announcement at 4:30 to 5 p.m. Any questions on the agenda, the breakdown, or what is expected of you guys? Okay, well, that's really the
Hello.
Hi, sorry, Eric, go ahead.
Just one quick question. So what if there's a conflict with work schedules? Because I see that it starts at 4.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you can't attend starting, sorry, the 4 o'clock one is on, yeah, the Friday one here.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you can't attend the beginning of the workshop because of work, then we completely understand. Just let Maria know. And as long as there is somebody from the team that can possibly be there, we can definitely allow that. And if not, then just coordinate with Maria so we can see what we can do to support.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, for your question. We may be able to record it if it's not possible for you to attend, and you will have access to that recording.
Perfect. Thanks.
Wonderful. Any other questions? No, everything was super clear? Wonderful. Okay, so we can wrap up here. If you do have any questions, maybe you weren't super comfortable asking them right now, then please do get in touch with Maria, as I mentioned earlier. There is early bird pricing happening right now, and it's 50% off until October 5th. And we will, of course, send you a follow-up email following the session with the links to register and when our next mixer is so that you can get to know possible group members for you in the future.
Hello.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Rafi, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. Like, what's the minimum number of team members that you need to have?
We normally recommend that you have at least 2 people as a minimum. Yeah.
All right, gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, Rafi. Just one note, because we do get this question asked quite often. We're very flexible, so we will take it a case-by-case basis. So if you are one person, we'll definitely be able to see how we can support you. And if you're 10 people, we'll also consider that as well. But just know, for those who are more than 5 people, the cash prize has to be divided by everybody. So then that kind of cuts the winnings. But also, it's really quite hard to manage 10 people over the course of 1 week. Okay, so it's very intensive, very quick 1 week program. So just make sure when you're thinking about how many people you want on your team, you focus more on, do I have people who understand the sector, or do I have people who understand the problem, and building a team that way versus building a team because you have many more people on your team. So sometimes numbers do hurt. And in this case, I would just advise that maybe the sweet spot is 3 to 5 people. And anything above that is a bit too much, and anything below that means a lot of work between 2 people. Not impossible, but just to keep that in mind as you're thinking about your team numbers. Thank you very much, Rafi, for the question. Any other questions?
Yes, please, Layal, I have a question. You mentioned that you will be helping individual applicants to build a team.
Yes.
Yeah. When will you do that, and how will you do that?
Perfect. So we have mixers throughout the next few weeks, of which we'll be sending you invitations for. The first way we help you build teams is to give you the opportunity to see who else is participating in the program. So that's step 1. Step 2 is once you see what the challenge is, we'll let people know during the Friday session who are the people participating in a specific challenge. So not only are you part of the overall program, but you're focusing specifically on a regulation challenge, for example, that you all want to work on together. And then the third thing is just making sure that you have the right skill sets as you form the team, of which we'll be doing a workshop on the Friday to help you formulate, how do I make sure the team is right? How do I make sure the foundation is correct, etc. So that will be taking place on Friday, October 20th, the beginning of the program as well. So hopefully with those 3 things, we'll be addressing and making sure everyone's comfortable with their team. But as I've said, we've run this program a few years now. And so spending time with you guys, Maria and myself, one-on-one, helping you formulate and making sure you're comfortable with the team will be our number 1 priority.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, Ramzi. Any other questions? Maria, anything else that you want to make sure is addressed?
Thank you, Layal. I don't think so. I think all the questions were, everything was covered. So if you have any questions, you can send me an email to maria@fintechcaters.com, and I'll be happy to cover any questions that you may have. As well, we will, as you have seen, we have recorded this session, so we'll send you the recording. So if you want to watch any part again or anything and that is not clear that we address in this presentation, you will have access to it.
Wonderful. Anish, I see you unmuted. Do you want to jump in with a question?
Yes, just one quick question. Can you give some examples from last year about the kind of mandates that we can expect?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had them on the tip of my tongue, Anish, and of course I forgot them. What we can do, just so I make sure that, because my memory isn't the best, what Maria sends the follow-up email, she'll send you examples of some of the questions, the challenges that have been presented in the past. But off the top of my head, we've worked on how can we make sure that the Quebec ecosystem, Quebec fintech ecosystem is one of the strongest globally. 2, there was one around how do we ensure that Canadians are tackling their financial health management in the right manner. Yeah, there was, yeah, so there's quite a few. I can't think of the details off the top of my head because my memory isn't the best. But we'll definitely, Anish, send you some of what those, to everybody, send you what some of those examples of the challenges look like in the past.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Eric, I see you.
Layal.
Yes.
Just to chime in, the last one was how to make insurtech more accessible.
Wonderful. Perfect. That was another example. Yeah. Thank you, Eric. Anish. So how do you make insurtech more accessible is another example, Anish. Anyone else? Thank you, Eric, for that. Perfect. All right, everybody. Then we won't take up more of your time.